Part 1: The Logic of Madness. The universe is finite, its resources are finite. If life is left unchecked, life will cease to exist. It is a chilling statement, delivered not with the chaotic laughter of a madman, but with the calm, cold certainty of a mathematician. For years, pop culture has been obsessed with a singular, uncomfortable question: was Thanos actually right? We often look at villains through a very simple lens. They want power, they want destruction, or they want revenge. But the Mad Titan is different. He doesn't see himself as a conqueror or a tyrant. In his own mind, he is the ultimate savior, the only individual in the entire cosmos with the strength of will to do what is necessary to save existence from itself. To understand the terrifying logic behind his mission, we have to look at the death of his home world, Titan. Titan was a paradise, a beacon of civilization and technological advancement. But it was plagued by a universal truth that every civilization eventually faces: overpopulation and resource depletion. When Thanos suggested a random, dispassionate elimination of half the population to save the rest, he was called a madman. He was exiled. And then, he watched his world burn. He watched his people starve, turn on each other, and slide into the cold embrace of extinction. This is the foundational trauma that birthed the monster. Titan didn't just break Thanos, it vindicated him. The tragedy taught him a catastrophic lesson: that mercy is a weakness, and that the universe would rather die in ignorance than make the hard choices required to survive. From that moment on, his crusade was no longer about revenge, it was about correction. He weaponized the Malthusian theory, the idea that population growth will always outpace the means of subsistence, and scaled it to a cosmic level. When he looks at the universe, he doesn't see individuals, families, or cultures. He sees an equation that is violently out of balance. And he believes that he is the only one who can fix the math. Part 2: The Flaw in the Equation. If Part 1 was about the chilling logic of the Mad Titan, then Part 2 is about the fatal flaw hidden beneath his philosophy. Because while Thanos presents his mission as a selfless act of mathematical balance, the reality is far darker. His philosophy falls apart under the weight of both logic and morality. First, let's look at the mathematics of his solution. Wiping out half of all living things is not a permanent fix, it is merely a temporary pause. On Earth alone, the human population doubled in less than 50 years. If Thanos snaps his fingers and eliminates half of humanity, the global population simply reverts to where it was a few decades ago. Within a blink of a cosmic eye, the universe would return exactly to the same tipping point of resource scarcity. So why did he do it? Why sacrifice everything, including his own daughter, Gamora, for a solution that is mathematically flawed? The answer lies in his ego. Thanos isn't just trying to save the universe, he is trying to prove that he was right all along. He wanted to look at the ghosts of Titan and say, I saved them, even if I had to break the cosmos to do it. His crusade was never truly about resource management, it was an act of ultimate arrogance. He appointed himself the judge, jury, and executioner of trillions of lives, completely ignoring the potential of sentient life to adapt, innovate, and find new ways to survive without mass slaughter. Furthermore, he fundamentally misunderstood the nature of life. Life is not just a collection of consumers eating resources. Life is connection. By destroying half of all living things, he didn't create a grateful universe, he created a broken, traumatized wasteland. The grief, the economic collapse, and the psychological scars left behind would cause more chaos and destruction than the resource shortage ever could. In the end, Thanos is the ultimate tragedy of an idealist turned monster. He allowed the trauma of his past to blind him to the value of the present. He claimed he wanted a grateful universe watching the sunrise, but all he left behind was an ocean of mourning and a galaxy filled with ash. He wasn't a savior. He was a man who looked at the complexity of existence, gave up on hope, and chose the path of absolute destruction.